All right, welcome back to the Tuesday show. Now, what else is going on? Let's talk about FGC news.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, can I actually cast this? I wonder. I just want to see this. Can I cast a one tab? I can. That's pretty impressive. Okay.
You can cast any tab.
Oh, okay.
You can just cast the tab itself.
Yeah, okay, cool. I always just assumed that it had to be like, I don't know if this is local on the machine or, or something. I guess that works. Oh, well, whatever.
Anyway.
In any case, there's been a lot of news for Blade Strangers, which is why I just kind of want to do this. There was a trailer for, let's see, Ali the Thief. There was a trailer, there was an announcement for an original character named Lena. And there was also one, Solange announced for Blade Strangers. So 3 more characters announced for that. And I guess it's not just on Switch. That game is coming out on Steam as well.
Do you know those characters?
I have no idea who they are.
Okay.
Do you know those characters?
I don't. I was curious.
Okay.
You tend to know more about games like that than I do.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe I did if I go and look at them, but I'm not sure where they're from.
Anyway, cool.
Oh, so Solange was a starter, huh? Oh, okay, so he was there already, so, okay. Also, some signing news that we always talk about. Apparently Alucard has left Flipside Tactics.
Right.
He was there for 3 years, so he's a free agent now. It's interesting right now because Alucard hasn't been making as big of a splash at a lot of events recently. I'm not sure if he's just stopped playing or...
I know he's gone to at least a couple of things.
Right.
It's not like he's gone.
Mm-hmm. But he just hasn't quite had the same kind of success as he had previously.
I know he's back in Detroit.
Yeah, that's right. He's back in Detroit. Okay. And then we mentioned this a little bit earlier, but UU has joined UU.
You what? Oh, I see.
I'm sorry. UU has joined
UYU.
UYU.
Hey.
There you go. Okay. A couple of really interesting events coming up here.
All right.
Let's see here. Well, first of all, I want to mention that the Tekken World Tour Global Finals, which is supposed to take place in, what was it, like Denmark or something like that? Or Amsterdam. Amsterdam. It's going to be on December 1st and December 2nd in 2018. So that was that announcement was made by Harada and Michael Murray during the finals for Tekken 7 at Combo Breaker. So that's really cool. There will also be a last chance qualifier there at the same time. So, Yosh, thanks for saying that you like my facial hair like this. This is about as far as it's going to go.
I think it looks cool.
Yeah, I actually am starting to, I mean, it's starting to grow on me.
Oh!
I mean, it is. I kind of like it, to be honest with you.
I think it's cool.
But, I mean, I still shave it, because right now I feel like even at the short distance it's getting a little gnarly, so I'll probably just shave it off a little bit.
All right, let it grow, man.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Also, during Combo Breaker, they announced a new tournament called Climax of Night. And it's going to be a French Bread themed tournament. So French Bread, of course, the developers of Melty Blood and Under Night in Birth.
Right.
So there's actually going to be a tournament that will take place in Atlanta, Georgia later this year.
Sick.
They say all they have listed is November 2018.
Okay.
But the games that are going to be in there are Under Night in Birth EXE latest, Dengenki Bunko Fighting Climax Ignition, Melty Blood Actress Again Current Code, and I guess because there's Unio characters in it, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle.
Yep.
So more details are to be announced, but it's supposed to be in November this year. I think that's super cool. There needs to be more events like this. We need an NRS tournament.
That'd be awesome.
We need a Bandai Namco tournament.
Well, it's kind of Viennale, but yeah, okay.
Right. But I mean, like
specifically,
more and bigger, and stuff like that. I think that would be really. In fact, I've been clamoring for that Marvel tournament to have MVCI and Marvel 3 and Marvel 2 and X-Men vs. Street Fighter and MVC.
Right.
I want that tournament. I want that tournament. Have Marvel superheroes playable there.
Okay.
X-Men Children of the Atom, and so people can see how broken that game is. I think that would all be super cool.
That would be cool.
Yep.
For sure.
I haven't tried it yet, but I guess Akuma is playable online and ranked right now.
That's what I have seen. Yeah, I saw a little clip of somebody doing it. It's just the arcade. I mean,
Right. I wonder.
It's just the same code.
I wonder how if they could patch it out.
That's what I wonder too. Yeah,
Right.
I don't know.
Like,
I mean, probably, but
yeah, they could probably patch
difficult.
it out, but hopefully,
in any case,
they could do something like that.
I appreciate that it is so legit. There's like two sides of it. I appreciate that it's so legit. You got the other side where that character is mega busted.
And to be fair, I didn't run into any. Like, I thought I was going to run into like 3 Akumas and like 2 other things, but fortunately that hasn't been the case so far. So, although, to be honest, Cammy was one of the only characters that could kind of legitimately fight Akuma.
Really?
Because her super goes under and up. So if he jumps up and throws air fireballs, you can get under there. But of course, it's really hard for her to build meter, etc., etc. Anyways, whatever.
Okay.
Let's see here. There was also Master T and Ultimate Manimal Arts in a recent Blade Strangers trailer, although I think that they are already existing. Another event that's going to... Wait, did this happen already? Oh, no. In Japan, they announced a new event called the Rage Street Fighter V All-Stars League. And
Right.
Yeah, and basically there's going to be a draft where players can draft players into teams, and there's 6 captains already selected out. And the captains are Nemo, who's part of the Aurora team.
Okay.
Itazan, who's part of the Ocean team, which is blue. Aurora, I guess, is purple.
Sure.
Fujimura is part of the Emerald team, which is green. Daigo Umahara, they just listed him as Umahara, that's weird, but he's part of the Gold team.
That's what they tend to say in Japan, just Umahara.
Oh, really? Okay. Moke, who's part of the Sunrise Orange team, and Tokido, that's part of the Red Flame team.
Flame, man, they couldn't have just said purple, blue, green. All right.
Dude, it's kind of like how in
I think it's cool,
they name all the alternate colors, which I always thought was really
sick, actually.
I'm
down with that. I'm definitely down with that.
But these 6 players are basically going to draft all these players. The draft is going to take place on the 31st of this month. So in 2 days, they are going to draft their team. I don't know who's available, and it's going to be 3-man teams. But I think it's probably going to be the players that have a license, right? The Street Fighter license, right? And it says there are only about 22 players with the license currently, and 18 are going to make up, there's of the 3-man teams. So it's probably just going to be those players in there. So they're just going to draft the teams at that point in time. But the 6 teams will be competing for a grand prize of 10 million yen, or about $10,000.
All right, that's cool.
But yeah, you can watch the draft live on OpenRec TV. So, and there is an OpenRec TV app that you can run on your phone, and you can watch it from there.
Isn't that $100,000? Isn't it 1/100th?
Yeah, you're right? So 10 million would be $100,000? Okay. Yeah, it is $100,000. Okay.
Dang, that's a good old chunk of change.
Okay.
All right.
Dang.
That sounds cool. I'll definitely be watching. I continue to think that the license thing is a pile of crap.
Oh, yeah. That's garbage. I mean, that means Momochi can't play in this.
Yeah, that's very stupid.
Yeah. But that's
cool. That sounds cool, though.
Right. And then, of course, there was a stream for Vegeta and Zamasu earlier today. I saw some clips of some of the stuff. Like Zamasu seems like he has a really nice assist. It's not like the beam but it's like a giant fireball, and it's really tall. So it's not as fast as the beam, but it looks like it can control space a little bit better.
Okay. But I'm all about space control options, because that's pretty rare.
Yeah. But I didn't see much of it. I just saw clips that I think High Fight was putting up and such. So.
I didn't even know about it until 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
So. My bad.
But yeah, like Hell Pockets, Maximilian were there and stuff like that.
Dang, really? Okay, that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta go check that out.
Zamasu can fly, apparently.
Right, I heard about that.
Magneto, and can block in flight mode? Really? That sounds kind of good.
Okay. So is he going to be bad like all the other unique characters in the game?
I was just going to say, it's really cool that he sounds like unique, but then you're right, all the unique characters are bad in the game. Like, I thought Ginyu was super fascinating, and he just turns out to be garbage. Beerus is garbage.
Beerus. I think Hit's bad.
Right. But yeah, I mean...
I hope not.
Right. But, I mean, so far, Zamasu seems pretty good, so... Hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's good. And then what's really interesting is despite all the doom and gloom talking about Capcom and stuff like that and like how everything seems to be failing and Marvel was like bomb and all these things like that. But apparently Capcom's financial report came out recently, like a few days ago, like about a week ago.
Okay.
And it reported that it's great. Things are great. Yeah. And they cite an overall profit increase of 8.4% in comparison to last year.
Well, Monster Hunter came out, right?
Right. And so a lot of it is probably Monster Hunter, although they did say that a lot of it was driven by esports now. Whoa. So they were giving a lot of credit to Street Fighter V and the esports stuff. But there was one thing that they said in there that actually really, like...
You don't like it?
Like, got my goat.
Okay.
Got my goat. They
got
basically, your goat. This is what it says. They're dubbing 2018 as... Esports year one for the company.
Oh, right. I remember them saying that.
So, what?
No, I had the same exact... I feel like we've talked about this in the past.
Did we talk about it already?
And then I also exploded about it.
I'm kind of...
Right. That really bugs me, too.
Yeah, I was like, what? Maybe we did talk about this last week. I don't remember.
No,
but,
not last week. I think this is a little while ago.
Okay, yeah. But, like, that actually makes me kind of... Yeah, it definitely rustled my jimmies, dude. It definitely rustled my jimmies. And I was like, are you kidding me? Esports, what? Like, this is the third year of the Capcom Pro
They're
Tour?
They're just idiots.
Yeah, it's just Capcom Japan. Oh, God.
Oh, man. You know, the more the Capcom USA and Europe and stuff can handle things, the more happier I am.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? But overall, Capcom's strongest market right now is the home consoles, and it's got to be a lot of that. And, you know, they talked about, I guess, there's a 2022 Asian Games or something, and Street Fighter V is going to be a part of that. And,
really?
Yeah, I don't know what the deal with that is. But, yeah, it's just... because players got licensed? Maybe that is why they're calling it year one.
Well, there's year one of that.
Yeah, that's true. So, anyways.
Yeah, I think that's season 3 ago. I think it's pretty accurate. Says that's company speak for we're going to invest more in esports. That's just, it's definitely just marketing type speak.
Okay.
Somebody who doesn't know anything is like, all right, now we're going to get involved. And so for us, hey, all right, big news.
Right. Probably is marketing speak, but I'm allowed to have my jimmies rustle.
No, I was annoyed by it too.
Okay.
Well, whilst we've been talking...
I mean, to be honest with you, Cappuccino, Street Fighter V is really spectator friendly. It is one of the easiest ones to watch.
For sure.
Yeah, and to know what's going on. Because a lot of the other games, things are just happening and it's pretty nuts. Like, some of the other games I really do think need a spectator view. Like, I've said this about MVCI. Like, there should be a spectator view that you could, like, connect to. And, like, when beams and stuff are covering the screen, you can see an outline of the other characters or something like that so that you can actually see what's happening.
You could just make the game like that.
Yeah, theoretically, but like Dragon Ball, would you do the same thing with like Piccolo's Super and stuff like that?
I mean, you don't... Once you've designed it that way, I guess that sucks, but you don't need to have designed it that way.
Right.
You could just make it so that it's seeable. Mm-hmm. I don't know. While we've been talking... Are you done here?
Yeah.
CEO Jabali has put up a game leaderboard for the games at CEO.
Oh, okay.
Which games have the most entrants? And here is the current list.
Okay.
11th place. Gonna go 11th to 1st. Third Strike. Then Super Turbo is number 10. Number 9 is Unist. Number 8 is DDR.
I think he's having a dance.
Actual DDR? Yeah, I know he used to play DDR.
Yeah.
All right. 7th, Injustice 2. Man. 6th place, Rev 2. Guilty Gear. 5th, Tekken 7. 4th, Melee. 3rd, Street Fighter V.
Okay.
2nd, Smash Wii U.
Uh-huh.
1st place, Dragon Ball Fighters. Okay. Which one did you leave up there?
The Ring. I was trying to bait people. So.
That would have been funny. I didn't think about that at the time. There you go. So Dragon Ball again, number 1. It doesn't seem like a big surprise because Combo Breaker was like that. Evo has announced that Dragon Ball FighterZ is number 1.
Here's the thing. There's no Pro Tour for this event.
Right.
For this game. So you're going to go to the biggest events, right? So that's obviously why Evo, Combo Breaker, and CEO will have more Dragon Ball players. If there was a Pro Tour, we would probably see Dragon Ball out registering Street Fighter V at a lot more events. Like Stunfest, That was a Street Fighter V premiere event. What if it was a Dragon Ball? I called it in an interview with someone. I called it a Saiyan event, right? Like, you know.
Oh.
Like that would be there. That would be the like, you know, SAIYAN Saiyan event. Like if they had their premiere events, you know that.
I mean, it's a seance.
What? I don't even know what that means.
You don't know what a seance is?
I know what a seance is, but I don't get I don't understand how that.
Well, I don't know how your thing is the thing either. So all right,
you know, like going Super Saiyan, right?
I understand what it is. I just don't know why the event's called that.
Anyways, but like if they had a premiere event, like it would probably have more entrants in those. So, dude, I don't even understand it at all. Anyways,
I think it's good.
You know, but like that's where it is right now, right? So,
yeah, I don't think it's a big surprise that it's number one, but you're right. I think it could be even more number one. I think it's a bigger item of news that Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U is second place and Street Fighter V is third place.
Yeah.
CEO is definitely more of a Smash thing than some other tournaments. Like it's definitely more than Combo Breaker, for example. But Street Fighter V third place, I think, is still a surprise.
Yeah, it is a surprise. So, and especially as a premiere event, but we'll see how it goes as it gets closer and closer to the event. But again, the smashing is huge, right? It's no surprise, and I know they really treat CEO as a big Smash event.
Sure, it has been for a long time.
More so than like EVO, for example, because they always seem to get mad at EVO for some reason or another, right? And then I know Florida also has a big Smash scene. So.
Right. Bummer for Injustice hanging down in the old doldrums just above DDR, but it seems like that's where it is.
Trust me, I feel the same way about Rev 2. Rev 2 and Injustice are always like right next to each other, and so we're both like buddies in that same way, you know, that our side favorite game is always just kind of not quite up there, but good to see that, you know. Well, it's interesting to Super Turbo there because I don't know if that Super Turbo is the 30th anniversary tournament event or if that's just a side tournament, because there's also going to be the official Capcom 30th anniversary event at CEO with $7,000 in prizes. So I don't know if that's the same thing or not.
I don't know either.
Yeah. So.
That's all he says about it. Yeah, Dragon Ball FighterZ is number one.
Yosh did, that's right. There was new costumes. They actually had Ryu as Arthur.
What? I haven't seen that.
So I think he fights in armor, and then I think the code makes it so he fights in the underwear.
What? Yeah. That's awesome, actually.
Yeah, so he's hot Ryu in underwear now with a big old beard. The big old beard.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even... What?
I was just thinking, like, why would it be Ryu? Like, I just feel like they need to spread the love a little bit more on these costumes. You know?
Yeah, no.
Oh, well.
I don't know. 12th places.
Oh, there's more. Okay.
Tied. Killer Instinct and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Oh, okay.
14th. ITG.
They're doing an In the Groove tournament as well?
Okay. 15th. PIU.
Pump it up.
16th. King of Fighters. 17th. Capcom vs. SNK2. By the way, Jabali won the CVS2 tournament at Combo Breaker.
Oh, he did?
He won it.
Did nobody enter? Was like everybody playing it garbage?
I suppose. I think Renegade got, it was like grand finals or top 3 or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, why is there no BB tag in there?
I didn't see it. Did you?
No, it's not in there.
I don't see it either. Maybe he's not running it? I don't know. I don't know, man.
Okay. That's weird. He's just doing all of the rhythm games there, all the step games, basically. Pump It Up, In the Groove, and DDR. I wonder.
Okay.
Interesting.
Right.
Okay.
Saiyan event. What did you call it?
Saiyan event, right? It could be like a Super Saiyan event. It's like the...
James, I don't know what you're saying.
My thing wasn't even a pun. It was just a name for the event, you know? It wasn't even a pun. It was just a Dragon Ball reference anyways.
Anything else going on? I feel like there's something else that I heard about, but maybe not. Brand new puns right here.
The rhythm games are a part of co-hosting of CEO and Storm, the Florida DDR major.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
There you go. Okay.
So in that tournament, is it like the kind of thing where style is relevant or what?
There's
like is there like the dancing versus points?
There's usually two.
Style?
There's usually the perfect tournaments, and then there's the artistic judging tournaments.
Okay.
Yeah, which I was never a fan of. So
got it.
Because there was the one tournament that I actually went and watched one time was there was one guy that was everybody's favorite because he's loud and crazy and everything like that, and they had the judging one, and you could write your own steps and load them into the arcade machine and play them that way.
I did not know that.
So a lot of people would write their own steps for it so they could do cool things with it. And that guy, the popular guy, went up there and was like, ready, go. One arrow came up, he stepped on the arrow, and then he was like, all right, and he walked off of it and like pulled out a bench and like a watermelon and started doing like all these crazy things.
Like joke, basically?
Yeah, joke, and did nothing about it, and all the judges, since they liked him and they were kind of friends with him, they loved it, and I think he won or something like that, and I was just like, come on.
That's kind of hilarious, but you shouldn't win.
Right, exactly. It would be hilarious if it wasn't like that, but...
It reminds me of the time that I got third place.
I don't even know I want to hear the rest of this. It's just as soon as you start cackling like that, I'm just like, I don't...
I got third place in a mustache contest once. I can't really grow a mustache that well. What I did instead is I cut off a lock of my own hair and I taped it to my face. This was in law school. The people who won had legit good mustaches. First and second place. I shouldn't have won it, all right? I had to get third place.
Like at night when we were all sitting there talking with like Keats and Tubaware, and you're talking about you and your brothers and everything like that, all I kept saying was, now you know why he is the way that he is, dude. Man.
The morning of the event, everybody knew that I was going to enter, and I was clean shaven. And they were like, what are you going to do, man? I thought you were going to be entering the mustache contest. I don't know why we cared so much about the mustache contest.
Do you have a picture from this at all, at least? Do you have a memento of this with you and this wonderful hair mustache of yours?
I probably do. It's not here, but yeah, I probably do.
Because I want to see what you look like.
The point of it, I mean, it was a joke, obviously, but I also, in furtherance of the joke, definitely made lawyerly arguments about what counted as a mustache, and
Did they know it was a fake mustache?
I mean, it was just a piece of tape with hair. There was no thinking that it was a real mustache.
You got third place because they thought it was funny kind of thing?
Correct.
Man.
Correct.
This is why judges should never... God, this is...
Did I ever tell you about the time that I...
No.
Also in law school.
I'm too wholesome for all this shit,
this
dude.
is not me. Well, it kind of is. Where I was assigned to do a moot court, and it was for some international tribunal.
You told me about this, yeah.
I don't think I've said this on stream. Where I was assigned to represent America. So I was assigned to represent the United States and whatever the issue was. And I didn't do any of the reading, and I had no idea what the subject was at all. So
I think you might have mentioned this on stream before, but keep going anyways. Okay. Keep doing it anyway.
And so I walked in there, and I had no idea what any topic was or whatever. And my entire argument was just that you better find for the United States, because if you don't, we're going to leave your international tribunal, and that will delegitimize the court. So in order to avoid delegitimization, if you want to matter at all in the future, you have to find for the United States, because we're the most important country in the world. That was my actual argument. And obviously the other students involved, the judges and the other attorneys and whatnot, representing other countries, were really pissed about me, about me doing that. However, the dean of the law school was there. And after I did it, he was like, That's actually a real thing. That's really what some people believe. This was during the Bush administration. So kind of why I thought about it. So the dean was like, you know, David, nice job. Also, we won. America won. But the judges took pains to point out that it was not due to the arguments of counsel.
Oh, man.
They were trying to ask me questions during the question and answer thing. What do you think about X or Y aspect of the disagreement? And I was just like, doesn't matter.
You totally cheated the system by not doing any work.
That was great. Yeah.
You literally talked about the Haitians, you know, and stuff.
Yeah, that's basically right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right.
It's a great movie. God,
that was a good movie.
Such a good movie.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, when I came into law school, I went to the law school that I did because they're really good for international law. That's what I thought I wanted to do. And by the end of that first semester, I realized that I thought that would have been bad because the law there is, again, this is during the Bush administration, like, they did not care at all about it. I guess we're kind of back to those times now, but I didn't want to, like, do law in something where there was nothing was really binding.
Gotcha.
I would like it to be binding, but it ain't. Remember like a few weeks ago when we breached a serious international agreement that we had spent years negotiating? Just 'cause.
Our country, you mean?
Yeah. It's not like we pulled out. I see news is like, we pulled out of the Iran agreement. It's like we just voluntarily did it. Oh man, we breached international law in doing that. It's like pretty serious, actually. But hey, it's all cool. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I didn't become an international lawyer. So.
Oh, God.
Well, anything else going on?
Not that I can think of. I think that's all I got. So.
Okay. I will not. As far as I know, I'm not going to be traveling until CEO.
Right.
So we got a little bit of a break now.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I'm traveling until CEO again. How long is it for CEO?
That's at the last weekend of June.
Last weekend.
So about
of June.
a month.
Okay, about a month. Okay.
That's probably the best story that I have.
Yeah.
Wasik says my best story is the time I locked my pants in my car door.
Yeah.
That's probably my best.
Yeah, that is good.
Oh man.
But I mean, as for myself, I may, if I can get enough information and thoughts about it, I'll probably try to do an uncensored tomorrow in the afternoon. But on Thursday, like I said, for sure, and try to hold me to this internet, please. You know, I'm going to try to make sure I start my 30th anniversary streams on Thursday and try to do that every week on Thursday. And just, I'll probably do a little bit of Street Fighter 1 because there's really not much to talk about that game except showing you fighting all the computers and stuff like that. And I don't know how long that's going to last. But then after that, definitely, I want to just do Street Fighter 2. I can probably spend days on Street Fighter 2 because there's just so much stupid stuff about that game. But, you know, we'll see. Does E-League start this weekend?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Stevens, I did hear about Roseanne blowing herself up. Yep. What a dingus.
And shout outs to ABC, by the way, to canceling that. So it's actually pretty...
Yeah, my surprise Speedo story is pretty good too, actually, yeah. Oh, man.
I'll definitely go through all of the Street Fighter 3. I will say one thing.
Pictures exist, man.
My life is definitely not nearly as exciting. My life was definitely not nearly as exciting, so... Oh, God.
Well, you don't need to lock your pants in a car door. It's not, I don't think that's like a...
Yeah, that's not something
you missed out on,
really. Yeah, exactly, so... Anyways, okay, that's all I've got, so...
Well, somebody asked us for our E3 predictions. That's not for another 2 weeks, I think, or a week and a half, I guess, more accurately. So we'll talk about it, I guess, next week. If that's cool. I'm just looking forward to Mortal Kombat versus X-Men.
That would be so funny if that happened, dude. That would actually be really, really funny. E-League stuff? What did we forget about E-League? We knew all the...
Oh, I did want to mention this. At Combo Breaker, I think you talked with them too. I talked with the Paradise Arcade folks about their magenta stick. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. I talked to them at Frosty Faustings about it.
Oh, okay,
actually.
cool. This is the first time I've seen it. Mm-hmm. So they have a programmable stick, literally the joystick, where you can set sort of where the recognition is on the stick for
it's like a perfect
diagonals.
360, but you can determine.
There's no gate on it, right? So you're not like hitting a side or anything like that. But you can determine via software where how far the throw is. That is to say, like how far you have to press the joystick to hit any direction. How big the where it detects diagonals versus just straight cardinal directions. You can really customize how your stick actually registers inputs. And you can also preset 4 different versions of that. And that's not something you don't need to be playing on the PC for this to work. It's not some PC software only. That's actually stored on the joystick. So when you're going to go play on a PlayStation or on an Xbox or whatever it is, that will all still apply. Mm-hmm. I think that is awesome. I think it's very inventive. I feel like that since the Hitbox, that's probably the most innovative thing that I've seen in joysticks, in FGC input paraphernalia.
Yeah.
That already is almost a decade ago that they came out with that, most of a decade ago. So that I think is amazing. It's called the Magenta. You can get it on, I believe, pasmagenta.com. Check it out at least. Again, like it solves a lot of the problems that I actually picked up Hitbox for. Mm-hmm. My own issue is both because I was missing inputs and also just because of ergonomics. So for me, that's not the only reason that I'm playing Hitbox. But if you're playing Hitbox because you're screwing up inputs, you can instead get this. Like, in theory, I feel like it should be just as good for doing things like MK9 Instant Air Gas Blast, which is like a really tight, up, back, forward kind of input. That should be much easier with a Magenta properly calibrated. And you can calibrate it for different games, different characters.
To have the 4 preset ones.
The 4 preset ones. Like, you may want something different for maintaining a charge, for a charge character versus a character like Ryu or whatever like that. Very, very cool. I'm very, very impressed by it. Highly recommended.
Dude, that kind of reminds me of something. I kind of brought this up on Twitter just a little bit, but I'm just wondering about the legality of this with Tekken tournaments. Like, I don't know if, because joysticks are designed so that they can, you can put extra buttons on them, and it's tournament legal as long as they don't do anything like binding buttons or anything like that, right? So using the PlayStation 4, the accessibility options, and you can change things, I assigned left and right to buttons, and when you do that, like, I can do electrics like 95% of the time.
Sure, like on Hitbox.
Right. And then I can, and then I can even do instant while runnings a lot easier by even having it on the same side.
That makes total sense.
And I'm just wondering, like, because obviously being able to do instant while running a bunch of times, in a row is really, really hard. And like when you see JDCR do that with Dragunov, it's like, it's amazing. But I'm just wondering, like, I started mentioning it, and some Tekken guys are like, just like, you're being silly. I was like, why? Like, isn't this a real thing, a concern? And they're like, yeah, no one does it because they probably consider it cheating. But I'm like, is it officially banned yet?
No, it's a good question.
And I feel like it kind of need to be. So, yeah, I was doing this for Devil Jin. I was just like, electric. It was like 95% of the time my instant while running. Because the instant while running, again, like I said, I don't know why no one's ever written this down or anything like that, but like I had to figure out on my own that it's basically plinking the last direction with the button. That's how you do instant while running.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter what speed you hit
okay.
the forward. You can go forward. You can go forward. Anything. It doesn't matter as long as the last one is plinked. And so if you put the button on the same hand, like even on a hitbox, you got to do this, which is a little awkward. But if you put it on the same hand, so what I did, I was just like instant while running. And you could probably even do it with the joystick and the button combined, which I can't test on the accessibility.
Right.
But you could probably do forward, and then boom. Forward, plink, forward, plink, forward, plink, right? And so there's just like, I'm just wondering if like there's some sort of legality issue with that on the main tournament and stuff like that.
Good question.
So,
it's a good question.
Yeah.
I think Wasik is right that the general rule is one button per input. But
but I mean, I was told that Tokido actually binds V-Skill to the fourth button at the over there, so that's how he skills everything so fast.
That makes sense.
He just pinkies it basically.
Yeah, it's like people binding like a 3-punch or 3-kick.
Right. Yeah. So, exactly. So.
Yeah, I think things that are in the game as bindable buttons, I feel like that should be fine. As far as electrics go, I saw somebody ask. Yeah, with the magenta stick, you can make them very much easier because you make it so that you need a bigger throw to register an input, which means that the neutral position is much larger on the stick. So it's way easier to go back to neutral while you're trying to input an electric.
I mean, it would help you to do crouch dashes a lot easier.
Right.
The electric would still be hard to do itself.
The actual timing of it, of course. But the dash part.
The crouch dash part would be much easier. Yeah, that would actually be true. So, okay.
Anyway, I just thought that's very, very cool. Paradise Arcade doing it. It's called the Magenta.
Okay. Cool.
Alrighty. Well, I guess that's about it.
Yep. Thanks, guys, for hanging out and watching another Tuesday show. We do have a editor now, so he's been putting up some episodes little by little. Hopefully, we'll get caught up quickly, and then we should be back on schedule on YouTube stuff. So apologies about that. So hopefully, we'll get that all taken care of soon. All right.
It's so yeah, there it is. It was a tiny bird.
Dude, that tiny dog was so cute. Oh, there was 2 tiny dogs at that tournament.
I heard.
That were so adorable. God.
CJ Truth plays so much hockey and watches so much hockey that now he says "a" in regular conversation. That's true.
Hey.